Hi, welcome to Anaprime Recap. After improving your skills quickly and unusually, you undergo an incredible physical transformation, becoming completely unrecognizable in the eyes of everyone around you. We are in the anime cheat skill Isekai, first season, episodes 1, 2 and 3. A young man named Yuuya Tenjou is walking quietly through a gloomy area of the city. Suddenly he comes across a girl's cries for help. When he gets closer, the young man realizes that several young men are trying to force her to go out with them. He then tries to confront the men, but the men are not intimidated by the young man, because the poor guy appears to be weak and sedentary, so he ends up getting beaten badly by the criminals. After help arrives, the girl shows her concern for Tenjou, offering to check on his condition. However, he pays her no attention and hurries off, leaving her behind. The young man is rejected not only at school, but also in his own home, and is mistreated by his parents, who have always favored his brothers because they are better looking. However, the young man had someone on his side, his grandfather, who was the only one who was always kind to him. But the old man is gone now, leaving his grandson living alone in this cruel world, since his parents have given up on him. When Tenjou arrives at school, he is extremely mistreated and is violently beaten by some bullies. In addition, when he arrives at his workplace, the young man receives the sad news that he has been replaced by a more athletic young man. Angry with everything that has happened in his life, the young man decides to take out his anger on a mirror in his house, striking blows with all his fury. After knocking on the wall next to the mirror, he realizes that a secret passage suddenly opens, and the young man finds himself in a secret room. The room is filled with extremely bizarre objects that his grandfather probably collected in secret. Upon entering there, Tenjou finds a second room behind a strange door, a seemingly more ordinary place. However, a floating digital panel suddenly appears. The young man doesn't really understand what it is, but it seems that he is in some kind of game in a different world. After this, the young man decides to peek through the window, so he comes across a place that is really different from Earth. Tenjou then finds a piece of paper with text in another language, but discovers that it is a note from the owner of the residence. As it turns out, the owner of the house has passed away and left the place to the first one who finds it, making the young man the new owner of the property. Surprisingly, the contract is renewed through magic. Furthermore, no one is allowed to trespass on the premises except the owner. Soon after, Tenjou discovers a sword in the house, along with other things, which are now his property. The young man begins to test his skills handling the found weapon, while the panel displays his power levels. He then decides to try out several different weapons, such as spears, bracelets, and even a bow and arrow, but the panel continues to indicate that he is still a beginner. While guarding his weapons, Tenjou is surprised by a giant creature with two horns that tries by all means to reach him, but is unable to cross the garden boundaries. Furious, the ogre throws a huge tree against the protective barrier, frightening the poor young man. However, nothing happens because of the protection the house offers. In the counterattack, the young man has the idea to throw one of the spears using his newly acquired skills. After gaining momentum, he manages to hit the ogre, opening a hole in the middle of its sturdy body. Soon after, the demon disappears, leaving the young man surprised to note that he has acquired points and valuable armor, destined to defeat his next opponents. The most impressive thing is that he has the freedom to distribute these points into any skills he wishes. To top it off, he is also rewarded with a sum of money that can be used in the real world. While sleeping, Tenjou suddenly feels a strange transformation taking place in his body, and upon awakening, he is surprised to find a lean and muscular body, so much so that his clothes are now baggy. In the other world, while the young man is busy tending his new vegetable garden, suddenly a bizarre monster, with a jelly-like appearance filled with eyes, appears before him. Without hesitation, Tenjou reacts promptly, confronting the strange beast with his spear. He successfully defeats the peculiar creature and is rewarded with valuable rare items as a result of his victory. The new world was not only convenient for improving his strength, but also allowed him to overcome his fear of the first day of school. After this, the young man walks with a spear around his home in the other world, when he is surprised again, now by a goblin. The monster is strong and narrowly misses the young man, who deftly deflects and manages to defeat his opponent with a sharp blow to the head. At school, Tenjou draws attention wherever he goes, and the students are curious because they have never seen this young man before. They can't believe it when the young man speaks his name. Finally, after looking in the mirror, the young man realizes that his face has also changed completely. Then the other students question their classmate's sudden transformation, considering it impossible for someone inferior like him. Moreover, they believe that he never had athletic abilities or a promising future. While Tenjou is arguing with the other students, a girl recognizes him and notices his physical transformation, leaving him surprised. Immediately, he discovers that she is the same girl he saved days ago. After that fateful day, she searched tirelessly for him so she could thank him for his help. Now, by way of thanks, Kaori invites the young man to study at Usei Academy, a super elite school where her father is the chairman of the board. However, Tenjou refuses the offer, as he believes he does not have the intellectual abilities to study in that place. After hearing this, the other students offer to go in his place, since they consider themselves much smarter than him, but the girl quickly denies the youngster's request. Kaori then admits that she could never accept in her school students who have insulted Tenjou, because she has an eternal debt to him. Besides, the school does not accept people without character, something much more important than intellectual ability to its principals, so it would be no problem for the young man to join the class. The girl then invites her new friend to visit Usei Academy. Once there, Tenjou finds a state-of-the-art school, where all the students have promising futures just because they are studying there. The young man is greeted by his new friend's father, who thanks him for rescuing his daughter. Mr. Hoju tells the young man that the academy is not only for people with innate talents and that his heroic act demonstrated the size of his character. After this, the director assures him that he doesn't have to worry about any tuition fees and suggests that he take a trial class with teacher Sawada. After accepting the proposal, Tenjou waits by the classroom door, terrified of taking the initiative to enter the place. However, even with the door closed, the teacher notices his presence and invites him in, breaking his moment of hesitation. Feeling an overwhelming shame, the young man enters the room and makes his presentation, but to his surprise no one reacts. The other students are paralyzed and perplexed, enchanted by his impressive beauty. After the comic moment, Tenjou sits down next to a beautiful girl with short hair. However, she turns red and visibly shy, and in addition, she is unable to express many words. This awkward situation causes him to hide in shame. After the class is over, everyone rushes to ask the young man several questions. However, a young man named Ryo appears and asks everyone to step aside. He then invites Tenjou to lunch in the cafeteria. When he arrives there, he finds himself in a true gastronomic paradise. There is a wide variety of dishes available and, to his surprise, some of them are offered free of charge to the students. After sitting down, he meets Shingo, a student in his class. As they talk, Tenjou finds out that he needs to join one of the activity groups the school offers, of which Ryo is part of all, since he is good at all sports. At the end of the school day, the principal admits that he really wants the young man to be part of Usei Academy, so he agrees to be a student at the school. Soon after, Kaori expresses her joy by inviting the young man for a stroll through the stores around the school, a place frequented by students after school ends. As they walk along, Tenjou discovers that the girl is very reserved, but that she still wanted to go out with him. Even though he feels embarrassed, he decides to invite her to try one of the delicious sweets in the place. Next, Tenjou questions how the young woman recognized him even after losing so much weight. Then she replies that his sincere eyes are still the same from the moment she first saw them. After this, Kaori confesses that she feels they are already friends and asks the young man to call her by her first name. As soon as he does, the girl is happy and offers him a bite of her candy. After feeling grateful, he returns the gesture. The next day, Tenjou prepares to enter the other world, putting on his imposing armor to face the monsters. As he walks through the door, he is confronted by one of the even stronger gooey creatures. Even though he realizes that he is still afraid to face the beasts, he uses his blade to deliver a sharp blow to the monster, turning it to dust. After collecting his rewards and rising to level 235, the young man realizes that he is no longer evolving as quickly. Therefore, he believes that he must face stronger monsters, which are beyond the surroundings of his protected home. Immediately, the young man crosses the fence that delimits the yard, and as soon as he sets foot outside, he hears several screams coming from deep within the forest. After following the noise, he comes across a trail of shattered bodies that leads to a goblin general, who is bloodthirsty and with an immense power level. This makes the young man hesitate for a moment. As the beast walks toward him, Tenjou notices that there is a beautiful pink-haired girl behind the monster. Determined to save her, the young man advances toward the creature, delivering a powerful blow, but his opponent repels the weapon easily. The young man then uses his last attack as a distraction, leaping into the air and firing a sharp kick directly at his enemy's face. This causes the monster to crash into a tree. However, after being distracted by talking to the girl, Tenjou almost receives a fatal blow from the creature, which suddenly appears behind him. After the girl warns him of the danger, he manages to dodge the first blow, but the creature turns quickly and hits him full on, throwing him against a tree. Even though he knows he is still weak, the young man realizes that he has his strengths. So he uses his spear to jump over the goblin and, while in the air, he summons several arrows to shoot at it. Soon after, the young man uses a sword to deliver a lethal blow, managing to break his opponent in half. After eliminating the monster, Tenjou walks over to the girl, who faints before he can ask any questions. Then several men dressed in armor arrive on the scene looking for the girl, whose name is Lexia. Immediately, the young man uses his power of invisibility to hide. The next day, Tenjou wonders how the girl he saved is doing, since he had to leave the place in a hurry before she regained consciousness. When he arrives at school, the young man continues to receive fascinated looks from the other students amazed by his beauty. During a photo shoot, the photographer Hikaru is extremely annoyed because the girl's romantic partner Madu is late again. So they decide to look for another more competent actor at the mall. While exploring the local stores in search of clothes, Tenjou is surprised by the sudden approach of two girls who wish to keep him company. However, he is not interested and has to politely refuse them in order to avoid hurting them. As Tenjou comes down the escalator, Hikaru crosses to the other side and immediately notices his beauty, wasting no time in approaching the young man and trying to recruit him. Before Tenjou can refuse, he is already being bombarded with flashes in the beautiful young woman direction. The young man is completely flustered, as he has never experienced anything like this before, feeling embarrassed by Mu's proximity. In his thoughts, Tenjou admits that the girl is amazing, yet he feels relieved when she walks away. Still, he believes he should try harder not to be a burden during the photo shoot. For the next pose, Mu approaches dramatically, wrapping her arms around Tenjou's neck, resulting in a touch between their bodies. The young man cannot help but show his discomfort and embarrassment at the proximity of the beautiful girl. In the other world, Lexia turns out to be a princess, who is determined to return to the forest and find her hero. She does not hesitate to demand that all her knights accompany her on this journey. Meanwhile, Tenjou is praised for his modeling work, but he is embarrassed when his photo companion apologizes for dragging him into it. Next, the young man confesses that he never imagined himself posing for the cameras, since his life has always been very different from this world he has just witnessed. On the other hand, Mu always wanted to work in the fashion world to get the attention of her parents, who were constantly busy with work. As a result, she won many fans and became an inspiration for many people. The girl believes that Tenjou also has the potential for a successful career. As the two laugh together, they don't realize they are being captured in several spontaneous photos. Suddenly Sho, the young man who was supposed to pose for the photo shoot, arrives on the scene, causing a commotion among the audience present because of his extreme beauty. Quickly, the arrogant young man apologizes to Mu for the delay. After that, he pulls the girl into a corner and presses her against the wall, totally ignoring the other young man. In a demanding manner, Sho insists that the model go out drinking with him, even though she says she is not old enough. Next, Tenjou, who had gone unnoticed until now, raises his voice to attract attention. Possessed by imminent rage, Sho lunges towards the young man, but ends up stepping on a napkin. Tenjou, seizing the opportunity, holds Sho's arm firmly and easily throws him to the other side, causing him to smash to the ground. Everyone around is impressed by the blow executed by Tenjou, but the young man fears that he might be punished for taking down a professional model. However, he is surprised to find that everyone admires him for his courage and skill. On the other hand, Sho is embarrassed to discover that the humiliation was recorded on video, showing a boxer being defeated by someone considered ordinary. Hikaru admits that after this episode, Sho will not have a future as a model, since he has been doing too many things wrong already. Also, Mu confesses that the young man was stalking her lately. After this, Hikaru invites the young man to participate in more jobs, recognizing not only his beauty, but also his talent in the field. The man believes he has the potential to excel even more in this area. However, the young man politely refuses, claiming that he does not feel fit to pursue that career and that he is still an amateur. Even so, he receives several bags of clothes as a reward for his work. Tenjou says goodbye to the man and then wishes Mu every success in her career. As they drive along, the girl confesses that she would love to have the opportunity to work with Tenjou again. At the same time, Hikaru notices Mu's cheeks flush as she talks about the young man. When he gets home, the young man still believes that he did not do a good job at the photo shoot. Meanwhile, in the other world, the brave knights battle with their armor and swords against hordes of goblins. However, the men soon realize that the number of opponents is overwhelming, making it impossible to defeat them alone. This situation leaves the princess in a vulnerable position. Suddenly, Tenjou appears, cutting one of the larger goblins in half with his sword, dealing a series of blows to the remaining creatures, demonstrating his impressive strength before the girl. He then provides aid to the wounded knights. Then, finally, the princess gathers courage and reveals the reason she was looking for him. With joined hands, she asks if the young man wishes to marry her. Meanwhile, a modeling agency realizes Tenjou's potential, even though they have doubts about his experience. Determined to recruit him, they send one of their talented employees, Kurosawa, to approach him and close a contract with him before other agencies do. Do you think Tenjou will be able to face even more powerful creatures while being extremely coveted by the girls around him? So, what did you think of this anime? Leave it in the comments below. And if you liked the video, like it and subscribe for more anime recaps. See you next time.